Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. The originally amiable and intelligent AI suddenly became extremely ferocious. It cracked the entire Wasteland star's garrison system in an extremely violent and fast way. Subsequently, this intelligent AI system obtained the system authority of the entire Wasteland star garrison with little effort. The surveillance system has been cracked, and it is now possible to view surveillance cameras all over the wasteland. The hangar system has been cracked, the hangar door has been locked, and no armored unit can easily leave the hangar. The communication system has been cracked, and we have mastered all the communication channels of Wasteland. 99. One system after another was broken, and a smile appeared on the faces of those Iron Men. Cracking the Wasteland star system couldn't be easier for them. In less than a minute, they became the new owners of the Garrison Command Center. A large number of surveillance images appeared in their sight. In the picture, a large number of half-iron men have been drilled out of the burrow, and they come from all directions of the city that never sleeps. The number of these half-iron men is increasing, and in the blink of an eye it has already exceeded 100,000. Looking at these half-iron men, the Iron Men in the command center also sneered. Unfortunately, our material 013 is limited, otherwise we can complete this operation more quickly and thoroughly. 39. The Iron Man next to him was holding a laser gun and also glanced at the surveillance screen. Those half-iron men wreaking havoc in the streets, armed with firearms. Although these firearms are extremely rudimentary, for passers-by who are scattered and without the slightest organizational ability, they are completely life-saving weapons. Moreover, after the transformation of these half-iron men, the pain in their bodies has been eliminated by the Iron Men. Even if they are beaten into a sieve, these half-iron men can still maintain a certain combat effectiveness. That's exactly how scary these half-iron men are. A large number of half-iron men destroyed wantonly, but no matter how they destroyed, the instructions in their minds kept driving them towards the center of the city. The Iron Man in the command center also chuckled. Although these half-iron men only have some simple programs in their minds, their combat power is much stronger than that of ordinary organic creatures. Let them continue to destroy like this. After destroying the city that never sleeps, let these tool people deal with the next battle. Our main purpose this time is to destroy the city that never sleeps as much as possible, so those guys in the Western Union will definitely be anxious. The city that never sleeps is just a bait. Iron Man is targeting the Western Union. For the Western Union, the city that never sleeps is one of their economic pillars. If the city that never sleeps is destroyed, they will lose a huge capital industry. This is undoubtedly a blow to the Western Conference. Among all systems, the only thing that Iron Man did not close was the communication channel. They were waiting for the Western Union to contact them. When it is known that Wasteland Star's Garrison Command Center is occupied, the city that never sleeps is about to be destroyed. Those Western Conference guys can't sit still. Thinking of this, Iron Man also showed a smile of victory. If we can win this time, as long as the plan goes well this time, our Iron Man Empire will have the capital to re-emerge. Iron Man looked at the screen in front of him, and as expected, news soon came from the Western Union. Western Union, the fleet has reached the Sunset Galaxy. How is the situation on the Wasteland Star? Wasteland Star Defense Army, you are already late. The command center has been occupied by our Iron Men. You organic creatures will eventually turn into dust. Seeing the news from the other side, the entire Western Union flagship fell into a dead silence. How long has it been since? They rushed over without stopping, only to arrive at the Sunset Galaxy and were told that their command center had been occupied by Iron Man. Western Union fleet, on the flagship Hunter. Wu Shan, the commander of this operation, frowned, and they were still late. Sir, what should we do next? What else can we do? Go full speed ahead. How much can be rescued? At this time, Wu Shan could only rush to Wasteland Star as soon as possible. If the city that never sleeps on the Wasteland Star is really destroyed, their sins will be big. At the same time, Wu Shan did not expect that there are so many Iron Men on the Wasteland Star. Under his influence, these Iron Men should have been destroyed by the Gamma Empire. But now, they not only still exist, but also caused huge damage to the city that never sleeps. However, Wu Shan frowned when he thought of this. What is Iron Man for? Just to destroy the anger? Wrong. This is not like the style of Iron Man. If it is just to destroy and vent their anger, this behavior is too stupid for them. Could it be that there is something in the city that never sleeps that they need? He knew everything in the city that never sleeps, and there was nothing worthy of Iron Man's fanfare. Thinking of this, Wu Shan was also annoyed. Although I don't know what these Iron Men attacked the city that never sleeps. But now, he must rush over as soon as possible, and protect the city that never sleeps under Iron Man's hands. It has been ordered from above that large-scale ship weapons cannot be used, that is, they must use ground forces against those Iron Men. For this kind of urban battle, the two sides can only compete for the elite level of the ground troops. The weapons on the ship can destroy the city that never sleeps countless times. Compared with the huge ships, the city that never sleeps is still too fragile. In order to protect the city that never sleeps as safe as possible, they can only choose ground raids. Soon, they had reached the Wasteland star. In space, it can be seen that the city that never sleeps has been ablaze. The huge city that never sleeps has now been devastated by the Iron Men. Seeing this scene, Wu Shan also flashed a trace of anger in his eyes. Order all ships to enter low Earth orbit and start dropping airdrops. 35. Remember, this battle is mainly to annihilate the Iron Man. Don't use large-scale bombing weapons unless you have to. The Western Alliance ships that received the order also entered the orbit one after another. And their every move has been seen by the Iron Man in the command center on the ground. The Iron Man looked at the silhouette of the ship that appeared in the sky. This time, the Western Union really went into a frenzy, and directly dispatched the S-class flagship hunting number. In addition, the entire fleet is equipped with 50 B-class fireboats and 100 D-class frigates. It seems that the Western Union attaches more importance to the city that never sleeps than they imagined. After seeing the size of the other party's fleet, the Iron Men also laughed out loud. Very good. Very good. It seems that the Western League attaches more importance to the city that never sleeps than we thought. 99. Looking at the dense fleet in the sky, the Iron Men also showed a smile with a successful strategy. The more you pay attention, the better, and it is best to focus all your attention on the city that never sleeps. In this way, their actions can also be carried out quickly. At this moment, a large number of airdrop warehouses in the sky fell towards the city that never sleeps like a torrential rain. These drop bays were staffed with large numbers of heavily armed Union soldiers. The Shanghai race in the center of the city that never sleeps was also happy when they saw a large number of airborne warehouses falling from the sky. It's the Western Union's airdrop. We're saved. Look, a landing ship has landed in the suburban direction. It's the Western Union coalition that's here, and those Iron Men are going to die. This is the city that never sleeps. Those Iron Men dare to attack the Western Alliance, and the Western Alliance will never let them go. The landing of the airdrop warehouse made those Shanghai races feel the arrival of hope. The mechanical monsters that were chasing Su Yan also saw those airdrops. Roar! With a roar, the mechanical monster sprayed out a plasma beam. After a round of laser scanning, countless airdrop warehouses immediately exploded in the air before they could land. Immediately afterwards, the mechanical monster looked at the landing ship in the distance. Roar! It was another plasma beam, and the landing ship was directly destroyed. The ground troops of nearly 10,000 people on the landing ship vanished in an instant. At this moment, the mechanical monster also burst out with astonishing power, and the plasma beams began to attack those airdrop warehouses and landing ships. Su Yan on the ground frowned as he looked at the mechanical monsters that were constantly showing their power. If this continues, it is estimated that most of those ground troops will be damaged before they can land. At this moment, Su Yan's technology watch issued a prompt. Ding, the Moon-class cruiser has reached the designated location, and the dangerous wanderers can be released at any time. Ding, the Moon-class cruiser has reached the designated location of 2.6. and can release the Storm Crimson at any time. In the distant field of vision, the huge stature of the Moon-class cruiser appeared. The mechanical monster was stunned when he looked at the behemoth in front of him. Compared with the giant in front of him, his body is as small as a toy. Whose ship is this? At this time, the Iron Man in the command center also recognized the signs on the ship. It is the symbol of Longing Fleet. It is Su Yan's fleet. Su Yan's fleet? The mechanical monster was stunned. Is he planning to use this ship to kill himself? But in this case, let alone him, everything around him will turn to ashes. The entire city that never sleeps will be razed to the ground under the shelling of the ships. Even Wu Shan's expression changed when he saw the huge stature of the Moon-class cruiser on the hunt. Whose ship is that? 35. With such a huge ship, Wu Shan would not dare to imagine the fate of the city that never sleeps once it opened fire. But at this time, the two Moon-class cruiser slowly opened the hatch under it. Two oversized Mechs were released from within the Moon-class cruiser. Storm Crimson and Dangerous Wanderer. Two huge Mechs fell from the sky. I saw the Dangerous Wanderer in the air attacked first, and the rocket propeller on the arm suddenly exploded. The next second, the Dangerous Wanderer delivers a heavy punch in the air. Rocket propulsion plus landing impact, the two are combined. The violent fist smashed directly on the body of the mechanical monster. Boom! With this punch, the mechanical monster fell directly to the ground with an unstable center of gravity. At this time, the mechanical monster didn't even react. What the hell is going on with these two super mechs? Boom! Boom! Storm Crimson and Dangerous Vagabond mechas landed one after another. The two powerful mechas just stood there, condescendingly looking down at the mechanical monsters on the ground. The appearance of these two behemoths also shocked everyone. What the hell is this? How come there is no information on these two super mechas in our database? Iron Man gritted his teeth for a while, but he didn't expect that Su Yan actually had such a whole card in his hand. Sure enough, Su Yan is the lifelong enemy of their Iron Man empire. The appearance of these two mechas is tantamount to a sentence of death for their mechanical monsters. The workmanship of these two super mechas in front of them is still far more powerful than mechanical monsters. Moreover, they are two super mechas. They thought that apart from ship weapons, no other weapons could resist the footsteps of mechanical monsters. Never thought that the face slap came so quickly. On the flagship of the hunter, Wu Shan saw a hint of excitement on his face when he saw the mechanical monster 31 being beaten down by a Dangerous Wanderer. Is this super mecha the handwriting of that faction? It's so critical. If this super mecha goes into action, we can take down that mechanical monster with minimal damage. Does any of you know which fleet that fleet logo belongs to? Soon, Wu Shan's crew also immediately called up the information of the Longing Fleet. After all, when Su Yan and others entered Hong Kong, they had to register their documents. As Wasteland Star is one of the industries of the Western Union, it is even easier to find Su Yan's information. Report, sir, this mecha belongs to the Longing Fleet, and the captain of the fleet is a blue star human named Su Yan. We next checked the information of this blue star human named Su Yan, and found some news that you may be surprised by. Hearing this sentence, Wu Shan is also interested in Su Yan. Personal information that would surprise him? Wu Shan is also very curious. Is there anything special about this blue star human named Su Yan? Su Yan, a human being, it has only been a few years since he started his interstellar voyage. But in the past few years, he has participated in the Battle of the Silver Star, and also participated in the Battle of the Financial Star. 99. During the Battle of Silverlight, he destroyed the S-class ship Dreadnought Victory and wiped out the Zerg brood. In the defense of the Financial Star, the invasion of the Zerg army was destroyed with a single blow. Hiss. Is such a brilliant achievement really something that a newcomer who has only entered Shanghai for a few years can do? Thinking of this, Wu Shan suddenly felt that this Su Yan might become their breakthrough point. Therefore, Wu Shan immediately commanded, "Can you contact the communication channel of the opposite ship?" Attempting to connect. 35, but at this moment, a loud noise suddenly sounded. Boom. The two mechas also started to work one after another, only to see the dangerous wanderer draw out his chainsaw sword. And the storm crimson next to it is also not to be outdone, starting the thundercloud formation, and the three rotating flywheels rotate at high speed. The mechanical monster fell to the ground, aiming at Storm Crimson, who looked thinner. At this time, with one enemy and two, the combat power is too disparate. Only by destroying one of them first will you have a chance to buy time. In a short period of time, the Iron Man consciousness in the mechanical monster analyzed the most suitable battle plan. Roar! A plasma beam burst out directly, hitting the Storm Red. But at this moment, a layer of energy barrier suddenly appeared in front of Storm Crimson. The appearance of this scene made all the Iron Men in the command center stunned. If they read it correctly, this ability barrier should be the ability shield that is loaded on the ship. How can it appear on this mecha? And Su Yan showed a satisfied smile after seeing the energy barrier on Baofeng Qihong's body. It seemed that those mechanical priests had successfully upgraded the two mechas. Since the last financial star battle, Su Yan also discovered that these two super mechs do not have any suitable defense means. So, he asked the mechanical priests to install the ship's energy shield on the two oversized mechas. In fact, it works really well. The Storm Crimson with energy chaos easily blocked the attack of the mechanical monster. Brush! The three rotating flywheels directly killed the mechanical monster in front of them. The alloy blade rotating at high speed is like a sharp scalpel that directly cuts the head of the mechanical monster. The next second, the dangerous wanderer directly lifted the mechanical monster. Next, Storm Crimson used a thundercloud formation to decompose the body of the mechanical monster layer by layer. A large number of scrap metal parts were peeled from the mechanical monster. Eventually, the dangerous rover's arm rocket thrusters ignited again. Huge mechanical monsters are thrown high by dangerous wanderers. Brush! Dangerous wanderer raises his chainsaw sword. A sword out. With the moment of debris and electric light splashing in the sky, the mechanical monster was directly cut off by the dangerous wanderer. The entire battle lasted no more than 5 minutes, and the mechanical monster was blocked except for a plasma beam. At other times, there is not even a chance to fight back. Even Wu Shan couldn't help but gasp when he saw the flexibility and combat power of these two super mechas. Such a huge mecha can maintain such agile movements. Such technology can only be achieved by some technological races in the inner sea. Thinking of this, Wu Shan couldn't help but speculate. Could it be that Su Yan was favored by a strong man in the inner sea, so he could rise in the outer sea in such a fast time? Just when Wu Shan felt that things had turned a corner, the Iron Men in the command center were also furious. Su Yan again. In the shared memory of the Iron Men, this guy named Su Yan repeatedly sabotaged their plans. Obviously just a despicable organic life, but it brought them so much trouble. It doesn't matter, it's just a mechanical beast, it's an inferior product we made out of scrap iron anyway. We still have 100,000 half-Iron Men, and these half-Iron Men are enough. When it came to this, the Iron Men also comforted themselves one after another. After all, their main mission is to destroy the city that never sleeps to attract the attention of the Western Union. Now the goal has been achieved, and now it is enough to hold back their footsteps. But just then, a warning popped up. Warning! An unknown troop has appeared in the western district of the city, and this unknown troop is slaughtering the half-Iron Man frantically. As of now, nearly 10,000 half-Iron Men have been killed. Furthermore, this unknown force is approaching the west of the city. What? Unknown troops? First, there are super mechas, and then there are unknown troops? Could it be those Union soldiers from the Western Union? Wrong. The Iron Men in the command center instantly denied their thoughts. Even Confederate soldiers in the Western Union don't have that much firepower. Killed nearly 10,000 half-Iron Men in a short period of time? What kind of terrifying force is this? Immediately call up all the surveillance footage in the west of the city and find out the origin of this unknown unit for me. 35. All the surveillance screens in the west of the city were mobilized. Finally, in a picture, they saw the unknown troop. A ship in the sky, painted with a familiar emblem, is flying low. Below these ships, 2 units of Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters 013, armed with power swords and chainsaws, moved towards the center of the city at an alarming speed. Seeing that sign, the Iron Men in the command center were immediately angry. Because this logo is exactly the logo of the Longing Fleet, and this fleet is also Suyan's. In other words, these powerful ground troops like harvesters are also Suyan's subordinates. The battle nun held a bolt gun and a power sword. In the battlefield, it was like a god of war. Thunder Warriors hold bolt guns and chainsaw swords, harvesting the lives of half-iron men like a meat grinder. Several lurkers above the high-rise, wearing pulse reconnaissance suits. A pulse of signal spreads around. Immediately afterwards, a small map appeared on the technology watch of the lurker, and the distribution of the semi-iron men and the surrounding terrain on the small map were clear at a glance. The lurkers transmit information back to the fleet, which is then transmitted by the ship's control system to the hands of the various units. The 2 lurkers sighed as they looked at the 2 troops below that looked like meat grinders. I thought that the Thunder Warriors were already the strongest unit of the Lord, but I didn't expect the Lord to have a more powerful psionicist force. Although these female soldiers are physically weaker than the Thunder Warriors, their combat effectiveness is even a bit worse than that of the Thunder Warriors. The strength of the Lord is really unpredictable. Well, we should go to the next area for reconnaissance. The half-iron men in this area have been strangled by them. 35. After all, the 2 lurkers were also fit and healthy, using various devices to fly between tall buildings. Under the guidance of the lurker, the battle nuns, and the Thunder Warriors, these 2 troops held power swords and chainsaw swords, sparks and lightning all the way. Any half-iron man who encounters them, before he can even shoot, will be directly strangled. The Iron Man in the command center gnashed his teeth when he saw that the half-iron man legion was being consumed continuously. Damn it! These half-iron men are of no use. Start Phase 2 program. Originally, the second stage was to wait for the Western Union troops to control the situation before launching. In this case, the troops of the Western Union are thrown into chaos again. As a result, the time that can be delayed is also greatly increased again. But Suyan's Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters won't give them a chance. In the blink of an eye, their half-iron army also suffered heavy losses. The main losses are all because of those Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters. In the streets and alleys of the city that never sleeps, many Union soldiers in black armed uniforms also shuttled through the streets and alleys. Wu Shan on the hunting horn is also commanding many Alliance soldiers. Pay attention to concealment, and try to get closer to the center of the city while eliminating the half-iron man. There are a lot of Shanghai races in the center of the city, which is also the economic core of the city that never sleeps. In any case, Iron Man cannot be allowed to step into the center of the city for half a step. The Union soldiers who received the order also began to formulate tactics. More and more Union soldiers began to gather. The original 10-man Alliance team also kept rounds with other teams. In a blink of an eye, 100 troops appeared one after another. Here is the Falcon team. We found a large half-iron army in front of the team. The number is expected to be around 5,000. The direction of the half-iron army in front of us is the direction of the city center. Do we need to attack? After Wu Shan on the hunting number received the news, his brows were also slightly wrinkled. With a half-iron army of 5,000 people, an army of this size is still a bit tricky. After all, these half-iron legions are not regular creatures. After being shot, these half-iron legions can even launch a violent counterattack. Unless killed by a headshot, these half-iron men are like undead monsters. After thinking for a moment, Wu Shan also issued an order. All squads move in the direction of Falcon Squad. Falcon Squad, wait for other squads to arrive before attacking. Report the movements of these half-iron legions at all times, and contact the squads that were parachuted in the center of the city to let them pay attention to the defense. In the face of this number of half-Iron Man corps, Wu Shan could only gather his alliance soldiers first. Without the scale of thousands of people, dealing with these half-Iron legions is tantamount to sending death. But at this moment, the voice of the Falcon team sounded again in the communication channel. Wrong. Report, sir, an A-class ship has been spotted over our unit. There are actually 200 troops under the ship. What's the situation? They rushed in. What are you kidding? 200 men versus 5,000 and a half Iron Man corps? In the communication channel, the tone of the members of the Falcon squad is full of incredible. Even Wu Shan was shocked. 200 troops? Apart from their alliance forces, which force is still fighting against the Half-Iron Legion? At this moment, Wu Shan seemed to think of something. Immediately take a photo of that ship's logo and send it to me. Not long after, a familiar fleet logo appeared in everyone's field of vision. For a time, there was a dead silence in the entire bridge of the hunting. Because this logo is familiar to them, it is the logo of the Longing Fleet. In other words, those 200 troops are the ground troops under Su Yan? It's too reckless. How can 200 troops fight against the 5,000 and a half Iron Man army? Wu Shan was also angry, and Su Yan was someone who participated in 2 major battles. How could he be so reckless? It is estimated that these 200 troops have gone and gone. 200 people against 5,000 people. No matter how good these 200 people are, how could they survive in the face of such a huge number of enemies? But it didn't take long for news of the members of the Falcon squad to come through the communication channel again. Sir, the Half-Iron Legion has lost. As soon as these words came out, Wu Shan was stunned. Even the other crew members on the bridge looked at Wu Shan in disbelief. Wu Shan was also stunned. How long has it been? He originally thought that what he was waiting for would be the news of the defeat of the ground forces of the Longing Fleet, but I didn't expect that the news that the Half-Iron Legion was the first to come was actually the first to collapse. Reliable news? How did they do it? Even Wu Shan couldn't believe that 200 people could actually destroy the Half-Iron army of 5,000 people. But at the moment, those Union soldiers on the scene. Seeing those Half-Iron men collapsed, I felt as if I was dreaming. The fighting nuns are shaped like nimble nine-tailed foxes, traveling back and forth between various buildings. The power armor on their bodies provides them with powerful power and defense. Every time the bolter in hand is fired, a Half-Iron Man will be destroyed. Just then, a Half-Iron Man sneaked up from behind her. The battle nun raised her hand and swung her power sword backwards. Brush. The next second, the Half-Iron Man was directly separated from his body and fell to the ground. As for the Thunder Warrior, it's completely a battlefield bulldozer. I saw a Thunder Warrior emptying his bolt gun and hanging the bolt gun on his waist. Then the Thunder Warrior walked straight towards the Half-Iron men. The chainsaw swords in their hands hummed, and the Half-Iron men raised their guns when they saw the burly Thunder Warriors approaching. Crackling. The firearm bullets landed on the power armor without even leaving a scratch on the power armor. The Thunder Warrior came to the Half-Iron Man, and the Half-Iron Man took out an alloy knife. When, with a crisp sound, the alloy knife fell on the power armor and was directly shattered. And the Thunder Warrior raised the chainsaw sword in his hand. Brush. The chainsaw sword swung down. Immediately, the 3 Half-Iron men were directly strangled by the chainsaw sword. Immediately afterwards, the Thunder Warrior looked at the other Half-Iron men. The Alliance soldiers next to them looked at the Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters in front of them. They couldn't understand why such a powerful force existed. Even the most elite fighters in the Western Union were incomparable to these superhuman soldiers. Soldiers of the Western Union? At this moment, a voice suddenly rang in the ears of the Union soldier. The Alliance soldier suddenly felt a tightness in his heart, and immediately aimed at his side. At some point, a lurker stood beside them. The lurker said lightly, "Don't be nervous, I am a soldier of the Lurker Legion under the Longing Fleet." Looking at the lurker in front of them, all the Alliance soldiers felt a chill behind them. When did he stand here? I didn't even feel the breath at all. If they were the enemy, he would have been killed just now. Our savior wants to have a chat with your commander. After all, the lurker also sent a communication channel to the past. Wu Shan in the hunting number was also solemn at the moment. Unexpectedly, there are so many talented people under Su Yan. First there were those unbelievably strong ground troops, and now there is an elusive army of lurkers. Wu Shan also replied immediately, "Send me that communication channel." After connecting to the communication channel, a lazy voice came from the opposite side. "Is that the commander of the Western Union? This is the captain of the Western Alliance fleet's flagship hunting, Wu Shan. You must be the rumored Su Yan." "That's right." In a building in the center of the city, Su Yan sat on a bench. Around him, a large number of survivors are hiding here now. Almost all buildings in the city center are now overcrowded. These survivors hid here, but fortunately, the remaining garrison troops and airborne alliance soldiers also formed a simple line of defense to keep those half-iron men out. But Su Yan knows that this is not a long-term solution. Those half-iron legions were threatening, and Su Yan felt a tinge of strangeness. These half-iron legions are just aimlessly destroying the city that never sleeps. Iron Men could not have made such a senseless action. If their goal is to occupy the city that never sleeps, they shouldn't cause such massive damage to the city that never sleeps. It doesn't fit at all. Their actions, as if deliberately, caused a huge commotion, and then attracted the attention of the Western Union. In the central area of the city, I have arranged for my troops to come and garrison. You need to be careful. Iron Man's attack at this time must be more than half Iron Man. Moreover, these Iron Men have been causing damage to the city that never sleeps, which means that their goal is not at least the city that never sleeps. Be careful, there's a good chance these Iron Men have other ideas. After saying this, Su Yan also looked at the ceiling. Most of these analyses are Ling Bing's guesses. Ling Bing and the others have now arrived at the dock, and that place is at least safe now. Su Yan has already sent ships to meet them, and it is not a big problem. Although Su Yan can analyze that Iron Man's goal is not the city that never sleeps, he really can't think of what Iron Man's real goal is. The attack on the city that never sleeps is just a pretense. The real goal should be to attract the attention of the Western Union. After attracting the attention of the Western Conference, what are they going to do? Thinking of this, Su Yan couldn't help but frown. But at this moment, a loud noise came from outside the factory. Immediately afterwards, a large number of Union soldiers and garrison troops passed by in front of the building. Report. An unknown enemy is attacking our defenses. Report. There are a lot of Iron Man Mechs on the eastern defense line. We need support. The Iron Men are attacking, their mech troops are coming up, and we can't stand it anymore. Damn it. Those half-Iron Men haven't been solved yet, and there are mech troops again. Hearing the commotion outside, Su Yan also stood up. It seemed that it was time for his troops to go out. A huge shadow appeared on the ground, and the Union soldiers and the garrison couldn't help but look up to the sky. Outside the defense line in the center of the city, a large number of Iron Man mechas appeared. These mechs are all made of alloy, with 2 heavy machine guns on their arms and rocket launchers on their shoulders. The combat power of these Iron Man mechas in front of them is not at the same level as those half-Iron Men. If those half-Iron Men were ordinary soldiers, these Iron Man mechas could be regarded as the elite among the elites. And the news of the appearance of the Iron Man mecha was immediately passed on to Wu Shan. Wu Shan frowned slightly, looking at the pictures from the front line. The manufacturing level of these Iron Man mechs is not the same level as those half-Iron Men. Are these Iron Man mechas the main force of Iron Man? What the hell is going on with these Iron Man mechas? Why are there so many Iron Man mechs appearing in the center of the city? I need a reasonable explanation. At this moment, Wu Shan felt that his head was about to explode. First the mechanical monsters, then the half-Iron army. The Iron Man is doing so much under their noses, and they don't even know it. Not only are they unaware, they don't even know their actions. Now, the half-Iron Legion was almost wiped out. Another Iron Man mecha popped out. I don't know if I thought that the city that never sleeps was the world of those Iron Men. Wushan felt that he could not wait to directly order the ships to open fire and raze the entire city that never sleeps to the ground. He wanted to see how many troops Iron Man had in the city that never sleeps. At this time, the other crew members also saw that Wushan was in a fit of anger, and did not dare to make any movement. At this moment, a piece of news was placed in front of Wushan. "Report, sir, the source of those Iron Man armors has been found out. Someone used a fake identity to buy a large number of abandoned factories as 030 warehouses from the factory managers of various factories. But after our investigation, these factories are still operating normally after the sale. A lot of material comes into this factory every day." 35. After hearing these words, Wushan was even more angry. "How about investigating now? The Iron Man Mechs have been created and are attacking their last line of defense. At this time, what is the use of this information? Now find out what's going on. The key is how to defend against these Iron Man Mechs. How about those squad members we landed on the outskirts of town? Now we need a large number of troops to resist these Iron Mechs." 99. The intelligence officer under him also wiped away a cold sweat. Because these Iron Man Mechs appeared too fast, and most of the Alliance soldiers were still fighting with half-Iron Men on the periphery. Iron Man also grasped this point, so he chose to strike decisively. Once the city center is occupied by the Iron Men, the city that never sleeps is completely occupied. At that time, even if they repulsed the Iron Man, they would not be able to avoid the punishment of the Alliance. Thinking of this, Wushan also felt a sense of powerlessness in his heart. These Iron Men clearly had a well-thought-out plan, and it was impossible for him to get a bargain at the hands of these Iron Men no matter what. They underestimated these Iron Men in the first place. Wushan was aggressive, and he didn't take Iron Man in his eyes at all from the beginning. However, the Iron Men are using the loose loopholes in the Wasteland star system to expand their armaments. In contrast to the two, Wushan lost too thoroughly. But at this moment, in the communication channel, a voice sounded faintly, "Commander Wushan, isn't I still here?" The owner of this voice, DBCG, is Su Yan, who is standing on the square in the center of the city at the moment. Above the sky, a huge sun god ship hangs in the air. Su Yan looked at the surrounding Alliance soldiers and garrison troops, and then said to Wushan, "Commander Wushan, as long as you hand over the command of the Alliance soldiers and garrison troops to me, how about I help you repel the Iron Man?" 5. As soon as these words came out, Wushan on the opposite side was also silent. The number of Union soldiers and garrison troops combined, but there are 200,000 generals. Put the command of these 200,000 in the hands of Su Yan? After thinking for a moment, Wushan gritted his teeth. Rather than smashing the 200,000 troops into their own hands, it is better to throw them out and fight. Thinking of this, Wushan also said, "Okay. 9. Have courage." Su Yan praised. Immediately afterwards, a notification sounded in the communication channels of all the garrison and Alliance soldiers. "Everyone, the next battle will be led by Mr. Su Yan. Su Yan's order is the highest order, and everyone must strictly follow the order." 35. Wushan's voice sounded in everyone's communication channels. Immediately afterwards, the voices in everyone's headsets were also replaced by Su Yan's voice. "Ahem, hello everyone, I'm Su Yan, your next commander. Next, I will assign you a task, which is very simple. The central square, the green garden, the old clock tower, the Wasteland statue, these 4 locations will be our next breakthrough points. My elite troops will be waiting for you at these 4 locations, and your next task is to go to these 4 locations at all costs." Hearing this mission, the garrison and the Alliance soldiers were also confused. But as soldiers, their job is to carry out orders. As a result, all the garrison and Alliance soldiers who received the order also moved towards the nearest 4 locations. The Iron Men in the command center are also in a good mood at the moment. Now those Alliance soldiers must have been hit hard by our cards. It's just that the blow is not light. This is what we want. These mechas cost us a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of time for them to clean up. This time is enough. It's almost time for our fleet to move. But at this moment, a series of warning messages suddenly appeared on the screen. Warning, Mecha 123 has been destroyed. Warning, Mecha 224 has been destroyed. Warning, Mecha 23 has been destroyed. What's the situation? Why are so many Iron Man mechs destroyed at the same time? According to the firepower of the garrison and Alliance soldiers in the center of the city, it is simply not enough to cause such huge damage to the Iron Man mecha. One of the Iron Men also immediately called up the surveillance screen. What happened to their Iron Man mecha troops suffered heavy losses. It won't be Su Yan's army again. How is that possible? His ground troops are still in the area west of the city, how can they come here? What if, he has more than those ground troops? For a time, all the Iron Men were silent. At this time, the surveillance screen was also transferred to the area in the center of the city. Their Iron Man mecha also appeared in the picture. However, when an Iron Man mecha just stepped over the cordon, the moment. Da-da-da. The bullet like a rainstorm fell directly on the body of the Iron Man mecha. In an instant, an Iron Man mecha was directly scrapped. What kind of terrifying firepower is this? I saw in the picture, 1,000 Thunder Tion gang holding revolving machine guns, ruthless firepower intertwined into a dense firepower network around the defense line. Anyone trying to get close to the Iron Man mech has not had time to fire. In an instant, it was smashed into a sieve by the powerful firepower of the opposite. The powerful alloy armor cannot withstand such a ferocious flame. But at this moment, the revolving machine gun stopped due to overheating, and I saw that the revolving machine guns in the hands of Thunder Tion gang were also braving wisps of heat. Seeing this scene, Iron Man was also a burst of joy. Alright. The overheating of the machine gun stopped, and it was their turn to fight back with their Iron Man mech army. But at this time, Su Yan, who was standing in the center of the square, looked at the Iron Man mechas in front of him and couldn't help sneering. Because he could see that these Iron Man mechas were pirated mechas created by the Iron Man, stealing his Titan shape. Thinking of this, Su Yan also clapped her hands. Pilots, let these bootlegs see what a real Titan is. Boom! With a loud bang, the Ronin Titan descended from the sky, holding an alloy knife in his hand, and a killing intent bloomed at the tip of the knife. Boom! Immediately afterwards, the ions landed, and a huge energy coercion burst out from its body. Several Titans have fallen from the sky, although these Titans are similar in appearance to these Iron Man mechas. However, they are stronger and faster. Brush! The Ronin mecha dashed directly to one of the Iron Man mechas. The alloy knife was swung out, and the Iron Man mecha in front of him didn't even have time to react, and was directly cut in half. Warning, Mecha 378 has been destroyed. Warning, Mecha 224 has been destroyed. Warning, Mecha 190 has been destroyed. Dense information popped up. The Iron Men in the command center looked at the news in front of them, and even if they wanted to save it, they felt powerless. This guy named Su Yan is the nemesis of their Iron Man empire. The Titans entered the Iron Man mecha, like wolves entering the flock, and a unilaterally crushing battle officially started. At this time, the revolving machine guns of the Thunder Heaven gangs were also cooled down again. The continuous crushing of the Titans and the powerful firepower of the revolving machine guns of the Thunderbolts. For a time, the all-powerful Iron Man mech army turned into something like a piece of paper. Iron Man mechas were constantly being destroyed, and the Iron Men in the command center gritted their teeth. Their cards have been exhausted, but the enemy is too powerful. Mechanical monsters, half Iron Man army, Iron Man armored troops, no matter which one, is enough to put a planet into a brief chaos. However, in front of Su Yan, these things have become a kind of pediatrician. Just when several Iron Men were extremely depressed, one of the Iron Men suddenly received a message from outer space. The mission has been completed, and the final plan has begun. The plan was successful? The Iron Man in the command center received the news at the same time. For a time, all the Iron Men laughed. Unexpectedly, their main force is actually so powerful. In this case, even if all the troops here are wiped out, it doesn't matter. Originally, the purpose of these troops was to delay each other's time. Now that the purpose of delaying time has been achieved, they can also retreat. Thinking of this, several Iron Men also glanced at each other. Then, they set their sights on Su Yen on the screen. This human, they will never forget in this life. Upload data. Along with the Wasteland star, all the Iron Man data have been uploaded. The Iron Man armor that attacked originally also stopped. Except for those half-Iron Men who were still advancing, all other Iron Man mechas controlled by Iron Man stopped. Seeing this scene, the Titans who were still wanton killing in the Iron Man mecha also stopped. Su Yen frowned slightly when he saw the Iron Man mecha that suddenly stopped in front of him. What's the situation? Why did these Iron Men stop fighting all of a sudden? And those Union soldiers and the army behind their hands were also at a loss. What happened? The originally fierce battlefield suddenly became empty because of Iron Man's departure. Su Yen frowned as he looked at the Iron Man mechas that had lost control. Not right. These Iron Men left suddenly, something else must have happened. Where are they going in such a hurry? At this moment, Su Yen has a bad feeling in his heart. These Iron Men definitely did not choose to retreat because of fear. In the program set by Iron Man, there is no such order to retreat in advance because of fear. It must be because of other things that Iron Man left here early. Or maybe their mission has been accomplished? Thinking of this, Su Yen immediately called the others, and the Hyperion in the dock was also called by him. For a time, the various fleets of the Longing Fleet also came from all directions. Immediately, all these ships were suspended above the square. Su Yen boarded the Hyperion, and at this time, Ling Bing and others had already boarded the Hyperion. After all, at this time, there is nowhere safer than the Hyperion. On the other side of the hunting horn, Wu Shan also received news. Report, sir, the Iron Man mecha units have been resolved. And under the command of Commander Su Yen, our coalition soldiers and his ground troops have turned and now have formed a counterattack. Very good. The city that never sleeps is saved. Save your brain too. The moment Wu Shan received the news, he was full of joy. Sure enough, handing over the command to Su Yen was the most correct choice for him. However, Wu Shan is also very strange. Obviously their counterattack has just begun. But the Iron Men gave up all their ground troops decisively, which was too quick to surrender. After thinking about it, Wu Shan also felt very strange. But he couldn't say why the Iron Men suddenly retreated. Just then, an intelligence officer hurried over. Not good. 35. Seeing the intelligence officer in a hurry, Wu Shan also felt nervous. Are those Iron Men making a comeback? Not good. The Stargate of the Sunset Galaxy has been occupied by Iron Man. 35. Boom. At this moment, Wu Shan only felt that he was struck by 5 thunders. Stargate occupied by Iron Man? At this time, Wu Shan felt as if he was dreaming. That's a Stargate. The Stargate connecting the Sunset Galaxy and the Devil's Triangle. If something goes wrong with this gate, the entire Sunset Galaxy will be doomed. It's not just a city that never sleeps being destroyed. That's a massive shock to the entire Western Union's economy. And, if these Iron Men modify the teleportation coordinates of the Stargate, the Ghost knows what will be teleported. Turn the fleet direction immediately. Never let the Stargate fall into the hands of Iron Man, absolutely not. We must take back the Stargate at all costs. At this time, Wu Shan felt that he was sweating profusely. If the city that never sleeps is occupied by Iron Man, he may be sent to the guillotine when he returns. However, if the Stargate is occupied by Iron Man, it is estimated that the Western Union would not be enough to vent their anger by killing him. At this time, Wu Shan did not dare to delay in the slightest. At this moment, all the ships collectively turned around and attacked in the direction of the Stargate. At this time, Su Yen also discovered the strangeness of the Western Alliance fleet. Later, Su Yen also connected to Wu Shan's communication channel. Commander Wu Shan, what happened? Are you so anxious? Seeing that it was Su Yan's communication application, Wu Shan also quickly connected after wiping a cold sweat. After the connection was made, Wu Shan also had a frowning expression on his face. Mr. Su Yan, you really got it right. The real goal of those Iron Men is the Stargate of the Sunset Galaxy. The city that never sleeps is just a bait, and now the Iron Man has occupied the Stargate. I must get the Stargate back as soon as possible, otherwise, the entire Sunset Galaxy, and even the Western Union will be destroyed. 39. Stargate? Hiss. At this time, Su Yan also suddenly realized that the target of those Iron Men was actually the Stargate of the Sunset Galaxy. The existence of that Stargate is a strategic existence for the Sunset Galaxy, or the Western Union. The Iron Men deliberately attacked the city that never sleeps in order to distract their attention. When their attention was on the city that never sleeps, Iron Man took the opportunity to take down the Stargate. Mastering the Stargate is equivalent to mastering a strategic node. If this time other Iron Man fleets are waiting at another Stargate. After the Iron Men who control the Stargate will change the transmission coordinates of the Stargate, those Iron Man fleets can continue to send reinforcements. Thinking of this, Su Yan couldn't help but feel that these Iron Men actually played such a big game of chess. Tune the tiger away from the mountain. Now that these Iron Men have suddenly withdrawn, they must have also captured the Sunset Stargate. The data consciousness of these Iron Men has probably been transferred to the new bodies on their ships. Let's go, let's get involved. If these Iron Men really take over the Stargate, we'll have to detour to the Devil's Triangle. I don't want those Iron Men to spoil my plans. Speaking of which, Su Yan also opened the ship's operation panel. All the ships were compiled into their own escort system, and more than 20 ships rose into the sky and flew straight towards outer space. Inside the Sunset Stargate. As a huge Stargate that can accommodate fleets to shuttle back and forth. Sunset Stargate itself is a massive star fortress. The huge ring building is suspended in the space, and a space tunnel in the center of the ring building really emits a faint light. At this moment, the space tunnel that originally emitted faint fluorescence began to flicker. In the blink of an eye, this huge space tunnel began to shrink and finally turned into nothingness. The connection between the Sunset Gate and the Devil's Triangle has been severed. Next, we just need to reset the connection coordinates to reactivate the Stargate. At that time, our large force will be able to teleport over. The Iron Man invaded the Stargate program and forcibly closed the Stargate. Now, they want to reset the direct connection between the Stargate and the Stargate. Once the connection is established, this Stargate will serve as a springboard for their large force into the Sunset Galaxy. How long will it take if the setting is successful? It takes 20 hours to establish a stable space channel. It takes 20 hours because the system computing system built into the Stargate is extremely slow. At least in Iron Man's eyes, it was as slow as a snail. But if Iron Man does it himself, it will only take 2 hours. 0, 0, their Iron Man's computing power ranks second among all races, and no one dares to claim the first. 2 hours? With the strength of our fleet, there should be no problem surviving 2 hours. But at this moment, a piece of information suddenly appeared in Iron Man's mind. After receiving the information, Iron Man also narrowed his eyes slightly. I didn't expect our ground troops to be defeated so quickly. Fortunately, our actions are fast enough, otherwise, this time will not be enough for us to occupy the Stargate. But now that we have occupied the Sunset Stargate, we don't have to worry about other issues. Several Iron Men also talked back and forth. When the Iron Men of the ground force retransmitted their consciousness to the ship, they also received the information of these Iron Men. The ground troops have been destroyed, and the culprit behind it all is their Iron Man Empire's most wanted target, Su Yan. Now the Western Union fleet should be coming soon. How about coming here? We occupy the Stargate to fight with them. Do they dare to attack the Stargate? Now, the Iron Man Empire occupies a good terrain position of the Stargate. As long as they rely on the cover of Stargate to fight against each other, their Iron Man Empire will definitely not lose. At this moment, in outer space, Wu Shan led the huge Western Alliance fleet to the Stargate aggressively. When he saw the scene at the Stargate, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. No wonder the Stargate was taken over by the Iron Man so quickly. The scale of the Iron Man fleet opposite has reached as many as 500 ships, and most of them are not low-level. When the ships of the Iron Man fleet saw the ships of the Western Alliance, they immediately hid behind the Stargate. Seeing this scene, Wu Shan immediately understood what the other side was thinking. Simply shameless, Wu Shan almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. Iron Man is planning to use the Stargate as a shield to fight him. In this case, Wu Shan will definitely throw the rat against him. After all, for Iron Man, if this Stargate is gone, they can find another one. The big deal is a mission failure. However, if Wu Shan fails to keep this Stargate, his future life will be ruined because of this. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. Damn. These Iron Fleet ships are using Stargates as shields. At this moment, Wu Shan was also caught in a tangle. If he relies on long-range firepower to attack Iron Man's fleet, if you are not careful, it is very likely that the battle will spread to the Stargate. However, if they were in close combat, if they were jumped by the Iron Man, they really might not be able to beat those Iron Man. Now, most of the Alliance soldiers and their ships have been airborne on the ground. Most of the force was held back by the Half-Iron Legion on the ground. If you are in close combat with the Iron Man fleet now, once you are ganged up, the ship will basically be useless. Up to now, Wu Shan still doesn't know how many cards the Iron Man Legion still has. Thinking of this, Wu Shan was also annoyed for a while. Sir, what shall we do next? With the firepower of our ships, if we attack recklessly, it is very likely that the Stargate will be affected. 95. Wu Shan is a little annoyed, can't he understand this question? After thinking about it, Wu Shan finally chose close combat. If he wins close combat, he will only lose some troops and ships. As long as the Sunset Stargate is still there and the Sunset Galaxy is still there, these battle losses can be compensated for sooner or later. However, if the 030 Stargate falls into the hands of those Iron Men, he and everyone in the entire fleet will inevitably be punished when they return to the Western Union headquarters. They may even lose their lives because of it. Thinking of this, Wu Shan decided to gamble. All ships of the fleet, at full speed, with a method of personal attack on the enemy, receive. The Western Union fleet that received the order was also advancing at full speed. Seeing the Western Union fleet approaching, the Iron Man commander opposite also saw Wu Shan's intentions. Hehe, it looks like our tactics worked. Right now, these Western Alliance ships can only come close to us. All ships are on fire, aim at the enemy ships and hit me hard. For a time, many Iron Man ships used the Stargate as a bunker. A large amount of artillery fire was like a torrential rain, overwhelmingly smashed towards the Western Alliance fleet. At this time, the Western Union's fleet can only passively defend. If you have a shield, turn on the shield, and if you don't have a shield, you will rely on the armor to resist. At this time, they could only keep moving forward, and occasionally, there were sporadic artillery pieces. But these guns were aimed at ships that weren't near the Stargate. Boom! With a loud bang, one of the ships of the Western Union finally couldn't bear the concentrated fire of the Iron Man fleet and exploded. A flaming flower blooms slowly in space, but the ships of the Western Union did not stop because of the destruction of this ship. A large number of ships came one after the other, and the sporadic artillery made them intimidating. On the contrary, the Iron Man ship on the opposite side has no such concerns at all. They opened fire, and the dense artillery fire filled almost all the space between the two fleets. Boom! 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 Another 3 ships exploded, and violent flames spread out in space. The ship next to him showed no mercy, and headed straight for the Stargate through the flames. Then, another ship exploded. Wu Shan watched one ship after another explode, and the crew members on them also turned into cosmic dust along with the explosion. But Wu Shan knew that at this time, the arrow was already on the line and had to be sent. No matter if, even if they sacrifice most of the fleet, they will take back the Sunset Stargate. Once they stop here, once they back off, then, all the lives sacrificed before will be meaningless. Go ahead. Just keep moving forward. They just have to go forward, to fight, to win. Only by winning this battle can they, the living, give meaning to the dead. Boom. Under the pouring of artillery fire, under the raging flames. Finally, the first ship approached the Iron Man ship. In the next second, the ship burst out with astonishing firepower. Under the close-range attack, the endless artillery fire broke out an amazing impact, directly between the two ships. The flames instantly filled the gap between the two ships. With a violent impact, both ships swayed for a while. Damn it. These Western Conference guys look so pissed off. I actually thought of fighting us in this way. It's ridiculous, our bodies can be replaced at any time, and if they die, they're really dead. It doesn't matter, if we continue to let them bang and die together, in the end, it will be the victory of our Iron Man empire. 39. The Iron Man commander had long thought of this happening. How about close combat? Iron Man's body can be thrown away at any time, but if the ship explodes, the Western Union members of the ship are really dead. If you change it one by one, it is a complete victory for the Iron Man. Thinking of this, the Iron Man commander also touched his chin, as if he had foreseen the victory of this battle. Boom! As soon as the voice fell, a Western Union ship and an Iron Empire ship exploded at the same time. The fire from the two explosions instantly ignited the starry sky. Even so, the fierce offensive of the Western Union has not weakened in the slightest. There are constantly battleships charging, and battleships are constantly being destroyed. Endless wreckage filled the surroundings of the Stargate, and the firelight continued to light up. Give me death. The Iron Man commander watched as the ships exploded one after another. His eyes are full of excitement, these organic life forms are still dying. But it is this behavior that excites the Iron Man commander. As an Iron Man, his greatest interest is to watch these lifeless organic beings push their lives into the abyss step by step. Boom! A cannon shot directly hit the Western Union's flagship hunter. But fortunately, the defense of the hunting horn is excellent. Wu Shan, who was sitting in the middle of the ship, also frowned. The most powerful means of the hunter should be firepower. Now, the powerful firepower has become a shackle in his hands. Thinking of this, Wu Shan could not help but grit his teeth for a while. Report. Our fleet is severely damaged, and if this continues, we will consume all the fleet before the Iron Man fleet. Damn it. Bad news came one after another, and at this time Wu Shan felt resentment in his heart. Is there really no way to stop these Iron Man legions? At this moment, a communication signal was connected to the communication channel of the hunting number. Hey, this is the flagship of the Longing Fleet, the Hyperion, I'm Captain Su Yan. Su Yan's communication signal? At this time, Wu Shan seems to have caught the last straw. Su Yan, maybe this guy can create another miracle. This is the flagship of the Western Alliance Fleet, the Hunt, and I am Captain Wu Shan. Commander Wu Shan, my fleet has now reached the vicinity of the battlefield, you should be able to see my fleet. Su Yan's fleet? At this moment, Wu Shan looked excited. If Su Yan brought 100 or so ships to his side, then 100 or so ships are enough to subvert the entire battlefield situation. But when he saw Su Yan's fleet, he almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. 20 ships? How to fight this? This number of ships is not enough to fill the gap between the teeth. At this time, Su Yan in the communication channel spoke up. Commander Wu Shan, it's the same sentence. If you believe me, follow my instructions. If you can, then try to hold back these Iron Man fleets. As long as you don't let them go back to the Sunset Stargate Fortress, I'll have a chance to snatch the Stargate back from you. As soon as these words came out, the opposite Wu Shan frowned. Can more than 20 ships be able to snatch back the Sunset Stargate? What are you kidding? The size of their fleet is more than 100, but facing the Iron Man fleet is still like facing a hedgehog. Can Suyen take back the Sunset Stargate with only more than 20 ships? Wu Shan's first reaction was not good. Boom. At this moment, another ship exploded, and the intelligence officer also hurried over. Commander, nearly 1/3 of our ships have been lost, and if we want to retreat, it's too late. 995, retreat? If they retreat, where can they go? Sunset Stargate is lost, can they return to the Western Conference? Naturally impossible, they retreated, so wouldn't their previous sacrifices be meaningless? Thinking of this, Wu Shan felt as if a fire was burning in his heart. He is not happy. At this time, he looked at the communication channel in front of him. Before, he believed in Suyen, 2.6 so the city that never sleeps held on. This time, face this situation. He chose to trust Suyen again. Okay. I'll cover you. Next, it's up to you to take back the Sunset Stargate. As soon as these words came out, the corner of Suyen's mouth rose slightly in the Hyperion. Leave this to me, and Suyen looked at the Sunset Stargate in the distance, and immediately opened the ship's control panel. The two Moon-class cruisers slowly stepped forward, and their huge stature wrapped the entire ship in them. Set off. Target, Sunset Stargate. Seeing Suyen's fleet moving, Wu Shan also felt a burst of pride in his heart. The last big gamble, they are heroes if they win the gamble. Gamble lost. They are the wreckage in space, a shame in the history of the Western Union. The key is here. Wu Shan stood up and shouted sharply, the entire army continues to attack, and no retreat is allowed. 5. Hit me hard. Don't give me ammunition, give me a hard entanglement on the ships of the Iron Man fleet, and don't let them get close to Suyen's fleet. Even if it's ramming, stop me the ships that are looking for trouble. Now, it's the Iron People's turn to get nervous. Target, Sunset Gate. Go ahead. Following Suyen's order, the entire fleet also began to rush towards the Sunset Stargate. At this time, the Iron Man on the opposite side also discovered Suyen's ship. Report, a fleet of 20 ships is coming towards us. Fleet? A fleet of 20 ships can be considered a fleet? After the Iron Man commander heard this, he also expressed disdain. Now, the Western Union and the Iron Man Empire, the fleets of the two sides add up to hundreds of ships. What was he doing with a fleet of only 20 ships? To be cannon fodder? But at this moment, the Iron Man next to him said something cautiously. This fleet seems to be Suyen's Longing fleet. In the fleet, there is one S-class ship, 2 A-class Moon-class cruisers, 10 A-class Helios firepower ships, and 10 B-class firepower ships. This firepower is not ordinary. Hearing these words, the Iron Man commander was stunned. Suyen's fleet, Longing fleet? Iron Man commander also immediately looked in the direction where Suyen was coming. Sure enough, I saw Suyen driving his own Hyperion quickly towards this side. Seeing this scene, the Iron Man commander immediately issued an order. Move 100 ships and stop them for me. Receive. Soon, 100 ships in the Iron Man fleet received the order, and they also began to leave the main force and attack Suyen. Seeing this, Wu Shan also keenly found a group of Iron Man ships in the Western Union flagship hunting ship that had left the battlefield and rushed towards Suyen. Report Commander 31. A group of Iron Man ships are leaving the battlefield. The number of ships is about 100, and the target is the Longing fleet. 99. I have reason to suspect that these ships are going to intercept the Longing fleet. Hearing this sentence, Wu Shan also said angrily, Laozi's eyes are not blind. Move out a group of fleets and bite them hard for me. Even if they die together, he cannot touch Suyen's ship. 35. This is a death order, pass it on to me immediately. The intelligence officer also responded immediately. Now they are in a deep quagmire, even if it is too late to retreat. Rather than being embarrassed, it is better to fight with vigor and vigor. Immediately after the order was passed, A large number of ships were separated from the Western Union fleet. In the next second, they were full of fire and rammed straight into the Iron Man ships that were about to intercept Su Yan's fleet. Boom! One of the ships collided directly with the Iron Man ship, and when the speed was too high, the ship exploded directly. The two ships directly turned into a group of gorgeous flames, burning in the sea of stars. Other Iron Man ships were also posted instantly. These ships of the Western Alliance are like dying, sticking to the ships of the Iron Man Alliance, and then firing frantically at close range. These ships would have to stop intercepting if they were to fight back. But if you don't ask, these ships of the Western Union are like poisonous snakes staring at you, ready to bite and kill you. Boom! At this time, another ship exploded. However, it was the ships of the Iron Man Empire that exploded this time. After destroying a ship of the Iron Man Empire, the ships of the Western Union also set their sights on other targets again. Boom! 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 Ship after ship was intercepted. Instead, Su Yan's longing fleet is unimpeded all the way. The two Moon-class cruisers were like two giants, escorting the Hyperion. Seeing that the longing fleet was getting closer, even the Iron Man commander was a little anxious. If you really let them get close to the Sunset Gate, you're in trouble. Don't worry about those lunatics. I didn't expect that a mere 20 ships would be so difficult to deal with. Shift the target and put the main target on Su Yan's fleet. Don't let him get close to Sunset Gate at all costs. 5. The Iron Man fleet, which was fighting in a melee, also received an order. A large number of fleets broke away from the melee and surrounded Su Yan's longing fleet. Who knows, when Wu Shan saw this scene, he also sneered. Oh, if you want to fight, you can fight, if you want to go, you can leave, what place am I here? Brothers, post it and keep fighting with them, I don't believe they won't turn back. The situation on the battlefield began to turn around for a while. The original Western Union fleet was crushed by the Iron Empire fleet. But now the focus of the Iron Man Empire's fleet has shifted, but they have fallen into a passive state. And the Western Union's fleet is directly chasing it. Rumbling. A large amount of artillery fire was bombarding the ships of the Iron Empire fleet with impunity. The Iron Man commander is also furious now. These Western Union guys are a bunch of lunatics and they're haunted. Unexpectedly, they would be in chaos because of a fleet of only 20 ships. Now, the rhythm of the battlefield is in Su Yan's hands. The entire Iron Man fleet was led by his nose. If they don't care about Su Yan's fleet, once Su Yan's ship jumps to the Sunset Stargate, how strong the ground troops under his command are, these Iron Men can't be more clear. However, if they control Su Yan, they will be bombarded by the Western Union again. Now, the Western Union is right behind the Iron Man fleet. A lot of artillery fire can be said to be vented like no money, and the previous depression has been released at this moment. Boom! 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 Ship after ship bloomed, but these were the ships of the Iron Empire. Damn it! These lunatics, leave some of the ships to intercept the Western Union fleet. The rest of the fleet, destroy Su Yan's fleet as soon as possible. At that time, no matter how crazy the Western Union is, it will not be able to make any waves. Speaking of this, the Iron Man commander also showed a ruthless look in his eyes. The Iron Man under him immediately conveyed the order. I saw that some of the ships that were originally advancing towards Su Yan stopped directly. Immediately afterwards, the ships of the Iron Man Empire also turned around and attacked directly. Seeing this scene, Wu Shan is no longer afraid. The two sides fight again. But at this time, Wu Shan discovered that some of the ships continued to attack Su Yan. Plus #7. When Wu Shan reacted, it was already too late. These Iron Empire ships cling to them, just like they did against the Iron Empire before. Now, the Iron Man Empire is also using this method against them. Seeing this scene, Wu Shan also immediately felt something bad. Su Yan, it's not good. A group of Iron Man fleet is heading towards you. How many years In the communication channel, Su Yan's incomparably calm voice also came out. And Wu Shan also wiped off his sweat. There are about 100 ships. 39. Speaking of this, Wu Shan also beat the drum in his heart. Ruined. This batch of fleets is not a small number. If Su Yan is destroyed because of this fleet, his sin will be done. You are too careless. I didn't expect these Iron Men to kill a carbine. But at this time in the communication channel, Su Yan did not mean to panic at all. 100 ships? Not a big deal. That's 100 ships. For a time, Wu Shan even suspected that Su Yan said this on purpose to reassure him. Not only Wu Shan, but also the Iron Man commander felt it. 100 ships fought against 20 ships, and everyone knew exactly what the result was. Whoosh! 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 Several solar cannons burst out, lighting up the entire starry sky almost instantly. Immediately afterwards, several Iron Man Empire ships turned into fireworks and exploded. What's the situation? What happened? Before the Iron Man commander could react, the Valkyrie fireboat attacked decisively. Rumbling. The dense number of episodes of rockets bombarded directly on several Iron Man ships. Immediately afterwards, several Iron 030 ships also exploded. Before they could start operations, 1/5 of the ships were destroyed. For a moment, the Iron Man commander was stunned. Even Wu Shan can't believe his eyes. What's the situation? Instant kill? What kind of ship is he meowing? Su Yan looked at the ships that were getting closer and waved a big hand. Solar cannon is fully charged. Set number rockets are filled. Emission. Another round of bombing. Iron Man fleet has a lot less ships. These Iron Man commanders can't sit still. How is it possible? Su Yan's ships have such powerful firepower. And at this moment, those Iron Man ships finally approached Su Yan's fleet. But before they were too happy, the giant Moon-class cruiser stood directly in front of the Iron Man ship. Light spears and macro cannons fired together. Rumbling. A series of fire explosions exploded, and there were only 30 ships left in the Iron Man fleet before the battle? How to fight this? Su Yan didn't give them a chance. The huge body of the Moon-class cruiser directly crushed them, and those ships were directly crushed by the Moon-class cruiser without even reacting. It's not that I didn't give them a chance. 100 or so ships would dare to intercept me? Ridiculous. 35. If you want to intercept me, you must at least turn over 5 times the number of ships. Hearing Su Yan's words, Wu Shan was stunned. It seems that Su Yan's combat power is far more powerful than he imagined. At this time, Su Yan was also approaching the Sunset Stargate. After getting close to the Sunset Stargate, Su Yan also found that this thing is indeed not small. It looks like a giant fortress. At this moment, the Iron Men in this fortress began to act one after another, and they were fully armed and guarded at each entrance. But at this time, Su Yan also thought of their actions, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. Get ready for a jump, gang. Report, sir. Su Yan's fleet is approaching the Sunset Stargate. Very good. Wu Shan was also overjoyed. He had seen the strength of Su Yan's ground troops. As long as his ground troops can enter the Sunset Stargate, it is difficult for those Iron Men to stop the attack of Su Yan's troops. Next, as long as they snatch the Sunset Stargate back, they will have the initiative. In the Sunset Stargate, the Iron Man commander also ordered all the elite troops to defend. There is still 1 hour before the re-establishment of the Stargate channel. As long as they can defend this last hour, that is their victory. Defend all the entrances, and never let them rush in to sabotage our plan. At this moment, all the entrances of Sunset Stargate were heavily guarded by Iron Man. No matter what method Su Yan chooses to enter into the Sunset Stargate, he will fall into the net they have set up. But at this moment, the Iron Man commander noticed something was wrong. The opposing Longing fleet actually chose to stop after arriving near the Sunset Stargate. What's the situation? Don't they intend to forcibly take back control of Sunset Stargate through a gang battle? But at this moment, something unexpected happened. I saw 2 Moon-class cruisers lined up in front of the Sunset Stargate. Immediately afterwards, several large-caliber artillery pieces were pulled out. After seeing these artillery pieces, the Iron Man commander panicked. What's the situation? Is he planning to bombard Sunset Stargate? What the hell kind of tactic is this? Don't they take back the Sunset Gate? Seeing Su Yan's battle, even Wu Shan couldn't sit still. What does he want? Bombing the Sunset Stargate? Why did they fight Iron Man in melee? They were afraid that the aftermath of the battle would affect Sunset Stargate, which was the lifeblood of the Western Alliance. They were careful not to have the slightest handicap. Who knew? Su Yan actually pulled out the large-caliber artillery, ready to bombard the Sunset Stargate. Who is it? Who can stand it? In order to protect the Sunset Stargate, they fought desperately. As a result, a friendly army finally came, and as a result, they directly pulled out their cannons and aimed at the positions you took care of. Wu Shan panicked at this time, and also frantically called Su Yan in the communication channel. Brother Su Yan, what do you mean? Our goal is to retake the Sunset Stargate, not to destroy the Sunset Stargate. Brother Su Yan, calm down. Wu Shan almost begged. He never imagined that the biggest enemy of Sunset Stargate was Su Yan. If it weren't for the fact that Su Yan helped him guard the city that never sleeps. Now, he even wonders if Su Yan is an undercover agent from Iron Man. In the communication channel, Su Yan's speechless voice also came out. Commander Wu Shan, you just need to trust me. I'm not stupid enough to blow up the Sunset Gate, it's just a tactic of mine. Besides, Sunset Stargate itself is a fortress. Do you really think it's as fragile as paper? For a time, Wu Shan was also speechless by Su Yan. To be honest, when the Sunset Stargate was built, it was built according to the specifications of the Star Fortress. Although the defensive power is not very strong, it is at least much stronger than ordinary ships. However, after seeing the powerful firepower of the Longing fleet under Su Yan, Wu Shan couldn't help but wipe away a cold sweat. Even the Sunset Stargate has a very strong defense, but it can't stand your fierce artillery attack. But at this time, Su Yan had closed Wu Shan's communication channel. Su Yan, who was sitting in the Hyperion, waved his hand. Emission. Boom. With the launch of an artillery piece, Wu Shan and the Iron Man commander couldn't help but feel tight in their hearts. This boy is for real. 35, boom. 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 Shell after shell was fired. But at this moment, Wu Shan discovered something was wrong. Why do these cannonballs look so much like airdrops? Wu Shan rubbed his eyes, and after letting him see the appearance of those cannonballs, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. It's really an airdrop. Boom. An airdrop warehouse smashed directly into the Sunset Stargate. The Iron Man Legion, who was guarding at each entrance, was also nervous when they heard this movement. What happened? Didn't the enemy plan to retake the Sunset Stargate, and instead just bombarded it? But at this moment, there was another loud noise, and the entire Sunset Stargate began to tremble. At this moment, those iron people were blinded. They actually came for real. Do they really plan to perish with them? But it's a little strange, why these shells haven't exploded yet. At this moment, in the corridor, several Iron Man warriors looked at the cannonball in front of them and couldn't help but look at each other. Is this a cannonball? Why does it look like an airdrop warehouse? Puff. While they were still discussing, the cannonball in front of them opened. The fully armed Thunder Warriors walked out of the cannonballs. After seeing this scene, the surrounding Iron Men also reacted immediately. Damn it. This is the airdrop position on the opposite side. They actually used the airdrop bins as cannonballs to perform jump gangs. 39. All the Iron Men picked up the firearms in their hands and shot towards the airdrop warehouse. But at this moment, there was another loud noise. The brand new airdrop warehouse pierced the armor of the ship and fell directly from the sky on them. Immediately, those iron men were directly crushed into a pile of scrap iron. The airdrop compartment opened, and a fighting nun stood up from the airdrop compartment. When she saw the Thunder Warrior next door, the battle nun also showed a captivating smile. "Meet again, big man." Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters, these two legions are the strongest ground troops in Su Yan's hands right now. The soldiers of these two units are also incompatible in the battle. Thunder Warriors consider themselves veterans, and the battle nuns should show them respect. But it is a pity that the fighting nuns are single-minded towards Su Yan, and in their eyes, the others are just tools to assist Su Yan. Two incompatible teams can only prove that they are stronger than each other by killing enemies on the battlefield. The Thunder Warrior and the Battle Sister glanced at each other, and a strong smell of gunpowder began to fill the air. "I hope after the battle is over, you can still be so stubborn." The Thunder Warrior picked up his bolt gun, and then slowly walked to the left. The battle nun narrowed her eyes and sneered, "When the time comes, let's see who has more kills. I believe the captain will see my strong strength." After all, the battle nun also walked towards the corridor on the right. What followed was a horrific massacre. The Thunder Warriors and the Fighting Sisters assisted in the Sunset Stargate with the help of airdrops. The two super soldiers, after stepping into the Sunset Stargate, began to kill in the Sunset Stargate. Ordinary iron soldiers could not resist their attack at all. Su Yan obtained the architectural drawings of the Sunset Stargate from Rowan. On this holographic map, Su Yan marked the location of the Central Command Area. "Attention all troops, I have sent the coordinates of the Stargate Command Center to your tech watch. Now, get to the Stargate Command Center as soon as possible, and kill any creatures that stop you along the way." Receive. The Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters inside Sunset Stargate also received the map at the same time. Afterwards, the two started running towards the Stargate Command Center according to the location indicated on the map. In the Stargate Command Center, the Iron Man commander couldn't help urging the Iron Man beside him. "How long until the Stargate is reconnected?" "It's still 30 minutes. 30 minutes is not enough time." Before, he thought that this time was more than enough, but now it seems that he thinks too much. Unexpectedly, Su Yan would use artillery to bombard the airdrop warehouse into the Sunset Stargate. This turned all his arrangements into bubbles, and because of the existence of those Thunder Warriors and Battle Sisters, they are now in a very passive state. Damn it! Wake up those elite Iron Men now. At this time, they can no longer be allowed to continue to sleep. Hearing this, the Iron Man next to him also nodded. Now, the other party has obtained the map of Sunset Stargate, and it will be here soon. Those ordinary Iron Warriors alone are not enough to resist the footsteps of Thunder Warriors and Battle Nuns. On the side of the fighting nuns, one of the good fighting nuns opened the holographic map and glanced at her location. Later, she found that her position was very close to the command center. It seems that our fighting nuns will be the first to win this battle. But at this moment, the battle nun seemed to feel something. The wall next to it was directly penetrated, and a metal arm stretched out directly. Seeing this, the fighting nun took a step back. The power sword in his hand slashed directly on the metal arm. With a series of fire splashes, the battle nun only felt her arm go numb. The battle nun was a little surprised. What kind of metal could actually resist the attack of the power sword? This was the first time she had seen the power sword bounced off. Squeak! The wall shattered, and a 3-meter-tall elite Iron Man walked out from the wall. His entire body is made of super strong alloy materials. Its defensive power can be hard against ship missiles, and it has a built-in small nuclear reactor, and its power is even more powerful. This is the elite Iron Man built by Iron Man by analyzing the data samples of the Thunder Warrior after the last battle with the Thunder Warrior. I saw this elite Iron Man standing in front of the battle nun, and when he raised his hand, his right arm turned into a chainsaw sword. Huh? Interesting. Looking at the equipment of this elite Iron Man in front of her, the battle nun also sneered. I have heard from their captains long ago that when fighting the Iron Man, they must deal with the Iron Man as soon as possible. The more cards exposed, the more information will be pirated by Iron Man. And this elite Iron Man in front of him, whether in terms of body size or weapons, is completely made according to the template of the Thunder Warrior. Now it seems that it is an Iron Man version of the Thunder Warrior. The elite Iron Man activated the switch of the chainsaw sword, and the chainsaw sword began to rotate. Brush. The next second, the elite Iron Man slashed with a sword. The fighting nun took a few steps back, and her body lightly avoided the attack of the elite Iron Man. The chainsaw sword slashed across the wall, leaving a knife mark directly on the wall. The elite Iron Man strode forward, and the other arm also turned into a chainsaw sword. The two chainsaw swords attacked continuously, causing the fighting nun on the opposite side to retreat again and again. Brush. Suddenly, the chainsaw slashed across the battle nun's pale face. Just a trace of prestige left a wound on the battle nun's face. The battle nun touched the wound, and a burning pain struck. But in the blink of an eye, the wound disappeared without a trace. This is another fighting talent of the battle sister, although she doesn't have the near superhuman strength and physique of the Thunder Warrior. However, once she was injured on the battlefield, her body would heal at an extremely exaggerated speed. It is this ability that makes the battle nun's combat effectiveness on the battlefield greatly improved. But now, the battle nun looked at the elite Iron Man in front of her and understood. If next, she can't think of a way to deal with this elite Iron Man, maybe she really wants 030 to fall here. No matter how powerful the healing ability is, it cannot deal with the continuous attacks. The battle nun took out the chainsword from behind that she didn't intend to use. To be honest, I don't like this weapon. Because when this weapon was designed, what those lunatics said made me feel very uncomfortable. 99, but now, I have to use this weapon. Pulling back the veil of the weapon, a more sophisticated chainsaw appeared in the hands of the battle nun. But compared to the chainsaw sword in the hands of the elite Iron Man, the chainsaw sword in the hands of the fighting nun was thinner. Click. The chainsaw sword in the battle nun's hand was activated. I saw that the chainsaws that exuded deadly cold ons began to turn, and the speed of rotation became faster and faster. Call. A gust of wind rose from the battle nun. Raising the chainsaw sword in her hand, the battle nun also looked at the chainsaw sword in her hand with some fear. This chainsaw sword is a brand new chainsaw sword developed by the mechanical priests, and the mechanical priests have carried out a large-scale upgrade of its power. The chainsaw sword in front of me is named the Furious Chainsaw Sword, and its rotational speed is 10 times that of an ordinary chainsaw sword. For a chainsaw sword, the rotational speed determines its sharpness. And the speed of this chainsaw sword is 10 times higher than that of the old chainsaw sword, and after turning on the Furious mode, its speed can reach an astonishing 100 times the speed. But at the same time, in Fury mode, the engine inside the chain sword will explode after 5 minutes due to overload. Therefore, if the Fury mode is turned on, it is best to solve the battle within 5 minutes. To be honest, when the battle nun turned on the Fury mode for the first time, she was really scared by this thing. Looking at the elite Iron Man in front of her, the fighting nun exerted strength under her feet. The next second, she rushed straight up. Brush. The two chainsaw swords collided, and the violent chainsaw sword in the hands of the battle nun easily gained the upper hand. The chainsaw sword in the hands of the elite Iron Man was directly divided into two. Seeing the broken chainsaw sword in his hand, there was also a trace of inconceivable in the eyes of the elite Iron Man. Both are chainsaw swords, why is his own chainsaw sword cut off so easily? Your weapons are out of date, while we've been standing still? After all, the battle nun raised the violent chainsaw sword and slashed directly at the elite Iron Man. Sizzle. For a time, sparks flew everywhere. The elite Iron Man grabbed the battle nun, and the battle nun took a few steps back and stopped the attack. But at this time, there was a gap in the armor of the elite Iron Man. Looking at the gap, the battle nun glanced at the chainsaw sword in her hand. I didn't expect that your defense was quite tough. After all, the fighting nun directly turned on the Fury mode. Hum. At this time, the chainsaw sword also made a roaring sound. A chainsaw sword with 100 times the speed of rotation, such a terrifying speed is considered a violent chainsaw sword. The next second, the battle nun attacked the elite Iron Man directly. The elite Iron Man wanted to block with his bare hands, but the chainsaw sword went straight through his arm. Looking at the incisions, where the arms were brushed together, the elite Iron Man looked at a loss. But before he could react, the battle nun directly raised the violent chainsaw sword and stabbed at the gap he had cut before. Hum. With a series of sparks splashing, the elite Iron Man was directly stabbed by the violent chainsaw sword. Before the fighting nun finished her attack, she used her arms to slash straight down. Brush. The body of the elite Iron Man was directly split in half. Immediately afterwards, the battle nun stabbed the chainsaw sword directly into the head of the elite Iron Man. Afterwards, the fighting nun let go directly. The berserk chainsaw sword, as the name suggests, cannot be stopped once berserk mode is turned on. Boom! A loud noise came from behind. The battle nun looked back, and the engine of the violent chainsaw was directly overloaded and exploded, and even the body of the elite Iron Man was blown to pieces by it. Seeing this scene, the battle nun couldn't help but curse, DBCG. Damn. Didn't those mechanical priests say 5 minutes to explode? It's only been 3 minutes. Gee. The battle nun also secretly said in her heart that she will never use the experimental weapons developed by the madmen of the mechanical priests in the future. Afterwards, the battle nun also continued to move towards the command center according to the map. And Su Yan also received news from the Thunder Warrior and other fighting nuns. All of them encountered elite Iron Warriors, but fortunately, the number of these elite Iron Warriors was not very large. These Iron Men are really addicted to piracy. This elite Iron Man is exactly what the Thunder Warrior made last time. Looking at the videos and pictures transmitted from the front line, Su Yan also expressed disdain. If it is someone else, if you see that your weapons and even the arms have been pirated by Iron Man. It is estimated that at that time they had panicked. But Su Yan is different. He has the system and the technological power of the mechanical priest. The speed of his replacement of weapons and arms far exceeds the speed of Iron Man piracy. As long as I update fast enough, piracy can't beat me. Thinking of this, Su Yan also chuckled. At this time, a battle nun has come to the command center. Boom! The door to the command center was kicked open, and the battle nun was armed with a bolter. When she saw the Iron Man appearing in her field of vision, the fighting nun cut off her gun decisively, not giving the opponent the slightest chance to react. At this moment, the Thunder Warrior also rushed over. The battle nun during the battle glanced at the power armor on the Thunder Warrior. I saw that the power armor on the Thunder Warriors also had a lot of scratches, and it seemed that they also encountered elite Iron Men. Seeing that the battle nun had taken control of the situation, the Thunder Warrior did not speak, but stood silently at the door to prevent other Iron Men from making trouble. The Iron Man was completely subdued, and the Stargate Command Center was taken down by the Thunder Warriors and the battle nuns. Next, even if the Iron people have great ability, it is difficult to make any waves. Mission accomplished, Captain. However, these Iron Men chose to upload the data after determining that the mission had failed. 35. Sorry, we didn't catch a single Iron Man. There was a somewhat guilty voice from the battle nun in the communication channel. But Su Yan said indifferently, you have recaptured the Sunset Stargate, and that is good. 55. Warriors, you've done a great job, I'm proud of you. When the Thunder Warriors heard Su Yan's praise, they also put their left hand on their chest and said solemnly, it is the honor of our life to dedicate everything to your excellency Su Yan. Everything about us belongs to Mr. Su Yan, thank you for your admiration for us, we will regard this as our honor. The battle nun also answered very religiously. On the other side of the Western Alliance, Wu Shan was also stunned when he saw that the Iron Man fleet was suddenly motionless. What's the situation? Why don't these Iron Men move? The Sunset Gate has been brought back, and the Iron Men should have all retreated. 35. Hearing this sentence, Wushan breathed a sigh of relief, and after he was relaxed, he also slumped on the ground. Su Yan, who was sitting in the Hyperion, also saw all the Iron Man ships stop. This means that the Iron Man inside has left. There is no chance of winning in the next fight. On the contrary, if it continues to delay and is captured alive by Su Yan, it will be a huge loss for Iron Man. As for the loss of these ships? Just kidding, what Iron Man is best at is assembly line manufacturing. As long as they are willing and have enough resources, they can form a fleet again in minutes. The word war damage does not exist in their eyes. They can even mine a planet out in a short time. As long as the Iron Man consciousness is not leaked, they can regenerate infinitely. Afterwards, Su Yan drove the Hyperion to Sunset Stargate. Under the operation of the mechanical priest, the Stargate returned to normal in the shortest possible time. And the Western Union headquarters was the first to know the situation here. The Sunset Stargate almost fell, which also caused everyone in the Western League to break into a cold sweat. The Sunset Stargate was reconnected, and the city that never sleeps returned to its calm once again. But the ruins in the city that never sleeps are telling others all the time that an earth-shattering battle once took place here. The news that Sunset Galaxy was attacked by Iron Man instantly spread throughout the entire Star Sea. The Iron Man is not dead, and they have now begun to disguise as the Shanghai race and mingle in the Shanghai. At first, there were people who didn't believe it. But the details of the Battle of the Sunset Galaxy continue to be exposed. The entire Shanghai also fell into endless panic. First, there were Zerg raging, and now the Iron Man Empire is also making a comeback. And these Iron Men, if the superficial camouflage skin hadn't been punctured. It is impossible for the ordinary Star Sea race to identify it with the naked eye. For a time, the Shanghai races in various places could not help but break out in a cold sweat. Maybe, someone around me has been replaced by an Iron Man, but they haven't found it now. Along with the Iron Man Empire, it reappeared in everyone's field of vision. A fleet name is also known by various Star Sea races. Longing Fleet, the captain is Su Yan, who once shined in the Battle of the Silver Light Galaxy and the defense of the Financial Star. Similarly, this time it was precisely because of the existence of Su Yan that the city that never sleeps was defended, and even the fallen Sunset Stargate was snatched back by him. The solar system, the mansion of the Moon Lord. Lin Xinghe looked at the latest Shanghai Express, and the headline was the Battle of the Sunset Galaxy. 20 ships hoisted the Iron Man fleet of hundreds of ships. This news is a bit too much. Could it be that these 20 ships are all S-class ships? But Lin Xinghe continued to look down and found that the captain of the Longing Fleet was Su Yan. For a moment, Lin Xinghe's mind echoed the conversation between him and his elder brother Lin Beihe. You don't need to worry about Qingyue, she is now a crew member on a ship called Su Yan. I warn you, don't go to this trouble called Su Yan, let me know, I have to deal with you. 39. This young man named Su Yan is more promising than the two of us, and Qingyue won't suffer by following him. Su Yan will make a name for herself in the Sea of Stars sooner or later, and Qingyue will follow him when the time comes. Don't ruin her future, you kid. When he heard these words, Lin Xinghe agreed on the surface. But he was also a little disdainful in his heart. He was a famous Moon Lord. An interstellar voyager, what does he beat me with? But then, in the Battle of the Silver Light Galaxy, the defense of the Financial Star, and now the Battle of the Sunset Galaxy, there is Su Yan's figure. Moreover, he played a pivotal role in these 3 battles. If it was me back then, in these 3 battles, I don't think I have the chance to play soy sauce on the edge of the battlefield. Hiss. This Su Yan really has some skills. It seems that what Big Brother said is right. This guy named Su Yan will sooner or later become famous in the Sea of Stars. Lin Xinghe sighed, not expecting that his younger sister would actually board this person's boat. However, now that she is doing pretty well, she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Gold Galaxy, Financial Star, Jean Luo sat in her office and couldn't help rubbing her temples. And just then, her secretary came in. Boss, this is all the industrial information of the Jean clan. At present, boss, you have mastered 50% of the equity of the Jin clan. Now you are the largest shareholder in the Jin clan, congratulations to the boss. 35. The Kim clan is said to be a family, but in fact its composition is not much different from a company. Since birth, Jin Luo has held a part of the shares of the Jin clan. Among their clans, whoever holds the most shares can control the Jin clan. However, although Jin Luo holds a part of the shares, she does not have much thought to intrigue with her brothers and sisters. It was not until after the Battle of Financial Star that someone in the Jin clan was killed by Su Yan because of the nobles of his own faction. Because that person held a grudge, causing the rejection of Su Yan within the Jin clan. Only at this time did Jin Luo react. It turns out that the interior of the Jin clan has rotted away. Rather than let it continue to fester, it is better to cut all the stakes in your own hands. It's not enough, I want to hold all the shares in my own hands. When speaking of this, Jin Luo's eyes flashed a stern look. At this moment, the younger sister Jin Xing hurried in. Sister, have you read today's Shanghai Express? I'm so busy all day, where do I have time to watch? Jin Luo also rubbed her brows and felt a headache. And Jin Xing seemed to know, and directly placed an electronic bulletin in front of Jin Luo. I knew you definitely didn't read it, so I brought it directly to you. Brother Su Yan, he is famous again, he beat the Iron Man core away in the Sunset Galaxy. It's good that it's big brother Su Yan, it took so long before he became famous again. Hearing Su Yan's name, Jin Luo also got the Electronic Express immediately. The above news, Jin Luo also quickly browsed word by word. In the Battle of Sunset Galaxy, the Western Alliance cooperated with the Longyin fleet to defeat the fleet of the Iron Man Empire, and successfully defended the city that never sleeps and the Sunset Stargate. Su Yan. Looking at the name of the attribute above, Jin Luo's eyes were filled with emotion. She knew from the beginning that Su Yan was not an ordinary person. But I didn't expect her to grow so fast. After this battle, the Western Union must be grateful to Su Yan. After all, the strategic location of the Sunset Galaxy, both economically and militarily, is a very important location. If the Sunset System is taken over by the Iron Man, the entire open sea will be plunged into the Iron Man storm. After all, with the Sunset Stargate, Iron Man can use the Stargate to teleport back and forth. Whether it is to transport supplies or troops, it is an extremely fast thing. Su Yan saved the Western Conference's life this time. Seeing this, Jin Luo also smiled slightly. Since he has worked so hard, I will continue to work hard for my goal. At this moment, Su Yan was watching the light rain in the dock and finished the installation of the last part. When this part was installed, the Hyperion had undergone earth-shaking changes compared to before. The current Hyperion can perform multiple space flips. Not only that, with the support of the overloadable reactor, the Yamato gun will not be affected by the cooling time when the reactor is overloaded in the future. Unlimited firing of Yamato cannons, who is not afraid? You know, the Yamato cannon can smash an S-class ship with 3 shots. Moreover, the current eternal energy stones are also loaded into the reactor. Even in the overload mode, the existence of the eternal energy stone also makes the Hyperion's overload state extend to the greatest extent. This is a disguised increase in the combat power of the Hyperion. The last part is also completed, and next, it only needs to be checked a few times to complete the upgrade. Although the Hyperion was upgraded, most of the boatman Mark was in operation. However, as Mark's assistant, Su Yan also saw her superb technique when upgrading the Hyperion. It seemed that as a boatman, she was more than enough to get on the boat. How's it going? My technique is okay. Speaking of this, Xiaoyu also tried to see a hint of appreciation in Su Yan's eyes. But Su Yan just smiled. Yes, it's enough to get on my boat. Xiaoyu puffed out a small face. Doesn't this guy know how to brag about himself? 0, this is an S-class ship. As a young boatman, being able to participate in the upgrade of the S-class ship is already remarkable. Just then, an Alliance soldier walked in. After he walked in, he saw Su Yan in the same way. and then walked over quickly. Seeing this, Su Yan also turned around. It seemed that the Western Union had something to inform him. Sir Su Yan. This Alliance soldier is also very excited. After all, he also participated in the Battle of Sunset Star at the beginning. Whether it is Su Yan's performance in the defense of the city that never sleeps, or in the battle for the Sunset Stargate, he is a hero. Meeting a heroic figure, it is difficult to guarantee that this Alliance soldier will not be nervous. Su Yan also patted him on the shoulder. Don't be nervous, what's the matter with me? That's it, our commander, Chief Wu Shan, is now waiting for you in the central building of the city that never sleeps. 35. This time, the officers of the other fleets of our Western Alliance also came to the city that never sleeps, and they want to see you. At the same time, Chief Wu Shan and the others have also prepared a reward for this operation. I hope you can come over. After listening to the words of the Alliance soldier, Su Yan also touched his chin. Recently, I have seen a lot of Western Alliance ships shuttle back and forth over the city that never sleeps. It turned out that the officers of other fleets of the Western Alliance also came to the city that never sleeps, but this is normal. After all, both the city that never sleeps and the Sunset Galaxy have experienced an Iron Man attack, and this battle made the Western Alliance almost lose the key galaxy of the Sunset Galaxy. Those officers of the Western Union must be more interested in the Sunset Galaxy. At the same time, Su Yan was a little curious about what kind of compensation the Western Union would prepare for him. After all, the Western Union does not have the wealth of the Jin clan, so it should have more other materials. After much deliberation, Su Yan also decided to go there himself. After taking 2 bodyguards, Su Yan also got into the vehicle that the Union soldiers specially came to pick him up. Afterwards, they went all the way unimpeded and came to the core of the city that never sleeps, the central building. Here are some management talents of the city that never sleeps. And Su Yan also walked into the central building under the leadership of the Union soldiers. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.